Hi, I'm John Huffman from JonyJib. Today we're going to talk about the ZR3000 zoom, focus, and iris controller. This is our latest and coolest version of this focus, zoom, and iris controller. And this is the actual control. Everything is in this box. It mounts on the back of the jib. You don't need any kind of brain or separate box to plug the controller into. This goes directly to the camera and to the servo motors. So let's get started first at the camera end, and this is the servo motor assembly that mounts to the lens, and it comes with this cool bracket that you can just screw into the side of any video lens that has the mounting hole on it. So we're going to just screw this right into the side of this Fujinon lens and get it nice and tight. You don't want it to wiggle back and forth. And we're going to loosen this knob here, which allows us to move the axle back and forth. We're going to get it lined up. You can move it back and forth. And then we're going to just put some tension on it by turning the axle and then retightening this knob. So the next thing we want to do is make sure that the gears on the servo motors are at the same travel point as the lens focus ring. So what I do is I just move the focus ring all the way one direction, and then I move the gear all the way one direction, preferably to infinity, and then you can just turn the lens and see that you get full travel on the gear from infinity all the way into the close focus point. We can do the same thing with the iris. I'm just going to lift the motor off. We're going to move the iris ring, and I'm going to set it to the wide open iris point. And then I'm going to move the gear the same direction. Actually, it was the other way. And then engage it. And then I should get, oh, I went the wrong direction. I go the other way. Now I should get full travel on the iris ring. There we go. So everything's tight. Now we're going to plug it in. So we have this cool little Y cable, and you just match the colors, and we'll just find iris here. We'll plug in iris. We'll find focus. You'll also see a zoom connector on this Y cable, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So our camera is ready. We'll go back to the controller now. And first I'll just talk about a few functions on the controller. We have this cool bracket that will turn 90 degrees where you can either mount it to a jib rod of 1 inch, or you can turn it 90, mount it to a tripod handle or something vertical. We've got our film and video switch on the back, so you can use this controller for both film and video lenses. If we go underneath, we've got this cool grip handle here that makes it nice for controlling the jib. And you've got a record button, got return, or on some cameras this is a review button. And then of course underneath you've got the focus knob. Top side we've got the zoom rocker, and then the iris controller here, as well as zoom, speed, direction, Canon, Fuji, and power. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. And we'll plug in power, plug in the 6-pin and the 8-pin. And this guy has a key in it, so you got to make sure you plug him in the right way. We'll fire it up. And immediately the zoom servo, or the focus and iris servo motors, go to the positions that the knob has them in. And you see that we're jumping teeth there. All that means is that we don't have the tension tight enough on here. So again, I'm going to loosen this knob. I'm going to turn the shaft another, say, half a turn. And now I'm going to unplug the focus, or actually we can just turn off the power here so that we can reset it. Since it jumped teeth, it's not going to be at the right orientation anymore. So we'll power it back up. And now we're not jumping teeth, and we're getting the full motion on the focus. It's nice and quiet. You can barely hear that servo motor moving. You can more hear the lens knocking when we get to the end of the throw. I'm going to go back to infinity. So you can adjust it as you need to. Same way with iris. We're getting full control of the iris now with the iris knob. And we'll turn the zoom speed all the way up. Now we're getting zoom. We'll go back to the direction switch. We can change direction here so that it's your preference. Some guys like the zoom in to be on the right side. Some guys like it the opposite. So you can just use the direction switch to set your preference. And then of course Canon or Fuji, you can set that here. If we were using a DSLR lens or a film lens, we'd go to the back, switch this to F. We'd disconnect the zoom cable, and then we can add a secondary or a third servo motor, which would control the zoom ring on those lenses that are non-video. So I think that's it. This is the ZR3000 zoom controller from JonyJib. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, visit our website or call us here at JonyJib. We'll be glad to talk to you. Thanks for watching.